What do we have here? A very interesting little animal called Moondrop Nekocake. They don't do everything well, but they do have some major features that should definitely spark your interest. Stick around to find out about all the good and the bad, and I guarantee it's going to be worth your time. What's up, everybody? This is David M., the Polish Potato. If you ask me right away, are these worth my investment? I am telling you yes. And that is for one major feature that I personally think is the most important feature of every earbud in existence. And that's, of course, the sound quality. These sound fantastic. I'm going to get into details in a moment, but they also have some areas that are not as great. And no surprise here, corners had to be cut somewhere because you can right now get these way under $50. I think the times of expensive, high-res, great-sounding earbuds are over. Moondrop put everything on one card, and that is sound quality, and they did this incredibly well with this little strange set of earbuds in some areas. I'm going to talk about it in a moment. So if you are the type of earbuds hunter, the type of buyer that's going mainly for sound quality and that matters most to you, you can become a very happy person for about 45, sometimes even less dollars, US dollars, depending on where you're buying, with what kinds of discounts, through what kind of websites. On Amazon right now, they are available for $42.99, which I honestly think is a great price for what you get. These are great value. So what happens when you put these into your ears? Of course, you have to pair them. And once you do, you're greeted with a voice that says, "Connected." I'm not kidding. That's the weird part. Connected. Some of you will definitely think this is cute, and that's great. I don't necessarily have to present my opinion on absolutely everything. Let's get to the main part that you are also greeted with, and that's the positive surprise of how good these really sound. So there is a 13mm lightweight titanium dome composite dynamic driver optimized for sound quality inside of these. And you can read a lot more about the technology that has been used, but the bottom line for the user is they are surprisingly good. They sound better than what you would expect. And as I said in the beginning, this comes at a cost in other departments because it's impossible to have, everything top of the line in a sub $50 earbuds set. But again, for those of you who are mainly buying earbuds for their sound quality, you're going to be pleasantly surprised here, and you should not hold back and just purchase these. If you go into the app, there are several tuning configurations that you can use. There is no equalizer. I'm going to rate the app right now because there isn't much to talk about in terms of the app. So I'm going to reverse the order of this review a little bit, and I'm going to weave the rating of the app into the sound quality part right now so we save a little time later. So my rating for the app is 6 out of 10 because it is basic. It doesn't offer a lot of options, but the options it does have are important. So back to the topic of the tuning configuration. There are several different settings here that you can use, and they actually make these little sub $50 Moondrop Nekocake earbuds sound different from setting to setting, very substantially different. So my gut feeling is that a lot of users will like the dynamic setting. A lot of users will like the Wenebostel setting. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this correctly. Probably not. But my favorite is the balanced. It is also a little bit louder than the next one in line, which is Moondrop Classic. The main thing about the Moondrop Classic is that it widens the soundstage a little bit, which is fantastic, but it also lowers the volume a lot, and the maximum volume, the loudness of these earbuds, and I feel like a lot of people will have a bit of a problem with that. But if broader soundstage means more to you and you want to really hear that very clear instrument separation, then go with the Moondrop Classic. That is the setting for you. This is the first set of earbuds ever that I find I can listen to at top volume on my iPhone 12 Pro, and it's not too loud. So the Moondrop Classic setting really lowers the volume, but it does open up the soundstage. So there's a compromise with everything. If you're willing to dig a little deeper, that's when you can uncover really interesting stuff about those settings and where they come from. For example, the classic Moondrop setting, the one that broadens up the soundstage, is the work of Mr. Herbert, the founder of Moondrop and the head of the R&D department. With its airy treble and softer, cleaner mid-bass, it provides excellent balance and treble extension, making it ideal for most types of music. I absolutely agree. If you care about hearing more of what the author of a song intended, that setting should be the one of your choice. Now, the dynamic setting, for example, reproduces the frequency response characteristic of a flagship earphone made by a well-known B initial earphone brand in Germany. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? So my guess is this is beyerdynamic, and I don't know that. I'm simply guessing. If you know for a fact that they are trying to emulate a different earbud / headphones manufacturer here, then do post in the comments. This is very interesting. It has a surging heavy bass with intense forward vocals and is suitable for listeners who prefer beat-heavy pop music. So if you're listening mostly to pop music, go with the dynamic. One more that I quickly want to talk about and read about here is the troublesome pronunciation one, the Venebostel. This tuning reproduces the characteristics of a well-known S initial earphone brand in Germany. So they're really going after the Germans here. Reducing the treble above 10 kHz whilst offering clear timbre and definition. It focuses on a transverse soundstage with a punchy bass and is tolerant of slag recordings. Suitable for users who like the high-resolution tuning of some German in-ear earphones with super bass. What is the bottom line here? What does this all mean? It means that the 13mm driver that they put into these earbuds is very flexible because it can easily deliver those really different sound signatures that you can go with by using those settings available in the app. And a lot of people will see the lack of equalizer in the app as a zonk. I don't think you need it. Having all these settings available, they will deliver more than enough of a different sound signatures that you can use with these earbuds, and that should really keep you happy. If you really need the equalizer, then you're going to have to use the one available in your music streaming app. There is no other choice. With all that, I think we exhausted the subject of sound quality and we covered it really extensively. I am going to rate these at 8 out of 10 because I do think they sound comparably good to my beloved SoundPeats Capsule 3 Pro. Please watch the most popular video on this channel so far. Now we're going to hit the ergonomics, and I'm already telling you guys it's going to be a high rating as well. Check this out. I know this is going to be weird now. I have a fake human ear here. It's a silicone human ear that is meant to be used for practicing ear piercings, and I guess for medical students to learn about the anatomy of a human ear. The creepy part is that it feels quite realistic. No more about that. The good part is, and that's why I got it, is that I can show you really well how the ergonomics of these earbuds influence the way they fit into your ear. So this is meant to be an average size human ear, of course. And check this out. The shape of these really relates well to the inside of your ear. So if you put them in there and then you twist them a little bit so that the stem kind of matches this little dip in the shape of a human ear here, and then you push them in a little bit, look how well they match and look how well they sit in there. So none of us, of course, have silicone ears, which means this is not going to be 100% exact same presentation as what would happen with a real human ear. But there's absolutely no way these are going anywhere once you insert them properly. So this is the right human ear. So if I take this now and try to reproduce the same sequence of movements when I'm putting them in, I'm gonna put this one into my left ear and stop the music that starts playing because they are pretty sensitive to the touch. You know what? I can rock with these. I can shake my head all day long. I can run. I can do exercise. I can jump up and down. There is no way these are going anywhere if you insert them properly. Good ergonomics? Absolutely. I'm gonna go with 9 out of 10. All right, everybody, we're going for another drive to test Moondrop Nekocake in conditions similar to what most people would be using them in. Is that the correct grammatical sentence? I don't know. I hope it is. It's very easy to lose the chain of thoughts when you're doing these tests. But anyway, I have this window cracked. The other window is cracked. There's a lot of wind coming in. And right now, just to show you how different my voice would be if I was talking to a higher end microphone than what is built into these earbuds, here's my trusted H1N recording, and I will also use it right now to demonstrate the kind and levels of noise we're dealing with here today that these earbuds are supposed to resolve if you are making a phone call using them. So here we go. Let's listen. So as you guys can hear, we're dealing with a pretty challenging situation. That's why I'm doing these tests, because I don't want to make it easy on these earbuds. Let's switch to the Moondrop Nekocake right now. If I was using them just in studio conditions when there are low levels of noise pollution, obviously it's easy for the microphones to pick up my voice, do a good job, and sound great. But my goal is to show you guys what happens when you push this equipment to its limits, and use it in conditions that are not so easy to deal with, so that these earbuds actually have some task that they have to deal with, some challenge to overcome, and show us what they are really capable of. So right now, as you may have already noticed, I know a lot of you out there are very perceptive people. You look at the detail. I have the edifier, I forgot their name. I'm going to put this at the bottom of the screen so you know which exact edifier earbuds these are, but I have the edifier in my ears, and all I can tell you that I'm certain of is that these are a lot more expensive than the Moondrop Nekocake that are the main focus of our testing today. As I just told you, I'm putting these Moondrop Nekocake earbuds today against some really serious competition, which they definitely find in the edifier I just had in my ears, and also in the QYC Melobuds. Is it QYC or is it QCY? It's the QCY Melobuds. Of course, I knew that. Seriously though, this way you guys can also have a little insight into what's coming to the channel next. And boy, is there a lot to talk about when it comes to the Melobuds. What a set of earbuds. I'm not going to hype them up a lot right now. Driving in a car, there's a lot of wind coming in directly through the window, directly at the left earbud. So the conditions are a little tougher than what it is right now. Right now, I'm standing on a relatively busy local street, but the noise levels are not that high here. You guys want to hear? Here's a sample from the H1N. There's definitely some noise to resolve for the earbuds, so maybe this is similar to walking a street in metro environment, and a lot of people would be using these earbuds in similar conditions. That's why I'm doing these tests. The Edifier NB2 Pro. Yeah, I learned the name. I am the expert earbud reviewer. I should know this. But seriously, there's so many of them that it's not easy to remember all those names. But if you're wondering what your Edifier NB2 Pro would sound like during phone calls in a moderately noise polluted metro similar environment, this would be it. Here we go, the QCYHT05, very impressive in many regards, which I will talk about in one of the upcoming videos. Right now we're just testing the microphone quality for phone calls against the Moondrop Nekocake. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think we have a solid base of evidence that we can analyze and talk about, and I'm dying to hear your thoughts about it and which of these you would choose for yourself. Let me know in the comments. Let's have a conversation. That was loud. Did it cancel out? Well, for yourself. Let me know in the comments. Let's have a conversation. That was loud. Did it cancel out? Well, how about that microphone quality for phone calls? 8 out of 10 for those microphones because of the value that is sitting in this set that, again, on Amazon runs for $42.99 at the moment. Wow. Aesthetics is, of course, always a very subjective ranking, but trying to look at these very objectively, do they stand out? Absolutely. Is this the best design I have ever seen in earbuds? No, it's not. Having said that, I appreciate that someone tried here and made them a little different. There's going to be a lot of people the aesthetics of these earbuds appeal to, and I can see that. And I think that's a great thing. They are different than most of the crowd because of this boxy shape that they have. My final opinion is they're not bad looking. They have their own style, which is really great. They stand out from the crowd of earbuds that all, for some reason, try to look the same. They're also definitely addressing a specific type of client, specific type of culture, following, which is pretty evident looking at these and their advertising, their marketing. And that's also great. Finding your own niche is important these days. Maybe they sort of limit the amount of people that will find these appealing. But on the other hand, if no one else is competing in the segment of the market you're addressing, isn't that great? I'm sort of torn here because on one hand they do work really well. These are pretty sensitive to the touch. On the other hand, this sensitivity to the touch can be a little problematic sometimes. So while I don't have too many things to complain about, these controls are not perfect. The great thing is they are customizable, and that is going to be very important for some people. Let's go with 6 out of 10 for controls because they could have been a little bit better. Volume control could have been added, but on the other hand, the sensitivity and good responsiveness is probably going to tip the scales to the favorable side rather than be a problem for many people. Build quality is unfortunately going to be one of those areas that will bring the ratings down a little bit. But as I said in the beginning, for the price these are being offered and the amazing sound quality, corners had to be cut somewhere. Having said that, this is not the worst case that I ever held in my hands when it comes to earbuds. It leaves a little bit to be desired. It does feel a little plasticky and it feels like it's quite flimsy. I don't even want to put a little pressure on the top because I feel like it's very easy to break off. The earbuds themselves are of a very similar material, and to be completely honest, I don't really care that much because they are not ugly. They don't feel super cheap in your hands. Do they look like the most highest end product? You have the most highest. Like the highest end product you could imagine? No, but they're also far from the bottom. So I'm going to rate them somewhere in the middle. Let's go with 6 out of 10 because at least I have to hand it to Moondrop. This case has a unique shape. No one else makes a case like this. And it has cool graphics. 6 out of 10 for build quality. I already talked about the app a little bit. The point is, there isn't really much to talk about. It offers some basic functionality. One of the features it does have is the gaming mode. And this is where I'm going to have to zonk these. I don't do this very often. But why are you putting a game mode in a earbud set that don't really work very well for gaming? Because the latency time here is far off what gamers really want. I haven't done my own tests, but I read enough about them, and there's enough evidence online to know that these are not the best for gaming. So that's a zonk. It would be much better if you simply skip the gaming mode and didn't put it in, because you're avoiding a situation when you're giving people a feature that is just going to maybe make them a little ticked off, because it's just not the best. Sorry. I talked about the case already when I was attacking the build quality, and for its uniqueness and, again, ability to actually successfully stand out from the competition, I am going to rate it at 6 out of 10. Good job for, I'm sure, what must have been a conundrum working with the budget on these Moondrop. Well done. 6 out of 10. Last but not least is the only 4-hour long battery charge, extended by, of course, the case, which gives you additional 12, but you have to factor in the 1 hour charging time, which is not terrible, 0 to 100% in 1 hour. But of course, if you're planning on using these for the full day, you might be forced to have a lunch break in between. My final conclusion is, if you're buying these, make no mistakes, you're doing this for the really good sound quality and great ergonomics. You're going to be okay making phone calls. You might be generating an occasional question from other people. Hey, what are these earbuds? I've never seen ones like these. And that's going to be well deserved. But you probably shouldn't be getting this particular product if you're a gamer or if you're planning on having extra long listening sessions. Hey, I'm nothing if I'm not honest. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this review gave you enough information to make an educated decision about possibly purchasing the Moondrop Nekocake. I am right now one very excited Polish potato because of the next content that I'm bringing to this channel soon. I will see you then.